Hi everyone, my name is Leah Kopke and I'm a 3D motion design freelancer. I also have a podcast where each week I cover another 3D modeling tool for Cinema 4D. Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be going over a 3D modeling tool inside of Cinema 4D called Triangulate. So let's jump into Cinema 4D and show how this tool works. Here we are inside of Cinema 4D. The first thing that I just like to go over, and I know that I've gone over this in the past, is that a quad is actually made up of two triangles. And it also has these points A, B, C, D. And if we go into point mode and we select this quad right here, you can see that we have our lines turned on. So you could see that in fact, this is really only one quad. There are no other subdivisions here. If we select 2 points and we move them back, in space, you'll see that this is actually deforming as two triangles. And that's because every quad is made up of two triangles. And there's this invisible line right here dividing it that you may not be able to see. And Cinema 4D has the easiest time calculating quads. And it's best for 3D modeling to have edge loops and to use quads so that you can rig characters and 3D model the best. So why would you ever want to use Triangulate to change all of your models? Well, some other software that you import into, such as Unreal Engine, will use only triangles. So if you want to really have control over what your model is going to look like inside of something like Unreal Engine, you're going to want to change it to be all triangles beforehand. We have these three shapes here. This first one has a quad on the top. And these other two show that this quad can have triangles going this way or this way, resulting in two very different shapes. And this is good to be aware of while you're importing this into Unreal Engine, because if you want to be able to choose whether if your quad becomes this shape or this shape inside of Unreal Engine, you're going to need to triangulate this mesh beforehand. So what I'll go ahead and do is I'll hold down Control, or you could hold down Command on a Mac, and I'll drag this arrow this way so that we make a copy of our model here that still has the quad. You can see that the other two are all made up of triangles, so those are our two options of what could happen. But we're going to need to triangulate this. So we can find this tool in here. Under the cut option is Triangulate. You can find it right here. We've gone over Untriangulate in the past if you want to remove any triangles from your mesh. So I'll leave a link to that also below. You'll see the Triangulate is here, and it doesn't have a hotkey listed like the other ones. So if you want to, you could add a hotkey to it, or you could just add it over here. If I would like to dock Triangulate into my UI, if I'm going to be using it a lot, I can use Shift-C to open up the commander here. And once I've done that, I can search for Triangulate. And you'll see that there's also an option of this as a node, but we are looking for the mesh version, which is actually this one right here. So we're going to drop this in here, and you'll see that it's grayed out right now because we don't have anything selected. What we're going to do is select our new quad cube over here and hit the Triangulate button, and we'll see how this triangulates this entire mesh. Now you can see that it is no longer made up of quads, that everything is triangles. This was the original. This is the new one that we just triangulated. You could see that we have a triangle back here. We don't on the other one. But what if we actually wanted to change the shape a little bit? So Triangulate took us most of the way there, which is really helpful. If we want to change this to look more like this, we can click this button here, and we can use dissolve, and I'll leave the link to the dissolve tool and the melt tool actually in the description below, because those are helpful tools for working on this. And then you can use the hotkey MN, which is the hotkey for dissolve, in order to remove that. So we have our quad back, but we've still maintained the other triangles we are happy with. So if we just want to change this one, we can now use our line cut tool, which was previously called the knife cut tool, in order to cut this and put this triangle where we want it to go. So the hotkey for that is MK. You'll see the line cut tool is listed under K, so we'll click that right there. And we can drag our mouse from one corner and click, and then let it go on the second corner. And now we have this nicely divided the way we'd like with our triangles, so that we can predict how this will look when it's imported into Unreal Engine and everything is triangles. We have it looking the way we'd like it to look. So that's how you can control your form. And the proper way to get things ready to actually import into Unreal Engine, which uses primarily triangles. So I hope you found this helpful. I come out with another episode on another 3D modeling tool for Cinema 4D each week. And if you're interested in seeing the next one, you'll be notified if you hit like or subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. And I'll see you next time here on Ambient 3D Animations.